Well, I'm getting ready to change the fuel pump. It's a good thing I keep rolls of fuel line around. I got two different sizes. One there, which will fit this thing. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put Teflon tape on here or just grease, because actually the Teflon tape doesn't really do anything for our sealing. It's just to make sure you got the fitting tight enough. It's not really sealing on that. The fitting actually just goes right in there. It's like compressed right against that. That's really what does it. And we got the right size hose for that size, but we need to change out another hose here to make sure everything, it's all this little garbage. It makes a difference. You don't just change the fuel pump, change the hose, and look for any other hoses that are bad. Now, as far as this hose, it's a little bit older. It's got a slight little bit of cracks in there. You can see it. I changed out that hose right there. That one's okay. So we're going to change this one. I just cut it, and of course I had 1/4-inch ID hose. It's kind of a good thing I keep that stuff on hand in a big roll. And I cut it with these. These are medical shears. Work pretty good. Got them for like $4 and some change from C.H. Cadell. Comes in handy for cutting stuff like that. There's the fuel pump down there. It's nice and clean because I already pressure washed it a while ago. And we're going to have to change this hose too right here. That's the bigger hose that I got. And should be nice and simple to do. But paying attention to detail is the most important thing. You know how that works, right? Minor details are where these things screw up. I got the 2 bolts loose. They're 7/16. Got the one nut that attaches the metal line. It's a 5/8. And I put a clamp down there on the hose so not too much fuel comes out, and I'm going to have to disconnect this side. There's going to be gas coming out. So what I'm going to be doing here is I got the other pump already right here. It's already with a line on it. So I'm going to disconnect it, clean off the surface first, and get it ready to put this thing on. Well, I'll put this on, then what I'll do is I'll pull this off last, because there's going to be gas coming out from the gas tank, even though I got this thing jacked up, even though it's on an angle. So that's the best way to do it, I guess. There's always one little thing you got to watch with the gas, Well, it runs, no leaks. It's good. I've got to explain what I did. Pain in the ass, to tell you the truth. Well, the hardest part about this is actually getting the rod. There's a rod that goes down, that keeps falling down, that goes up to here. And what I used to do sometimes was I used to put some grease on the rod, and it would go down so slow that I had enough time to put this in. And it didn't work because I guess these parts are pretty worn out. So I use this. You don't want to use a screwdriver. Use this to hold up the rod. I had a nice little handle here. There's a piece of sheet of metal I had laying around. Like the perfect tool for it. Small screwdriver really won't work that well. And just, you want to glue the gasket to this before you do this. You want to have it glued to this already. And once you get this, you're holding up the push rod with that, and you slide this in, and the push rod is, goes right up there. Where you see the arm is, you got to hold it up the push rod with this thing, right? And then stick a couple Phillips screwdrivers in here to keep the holes lined up, and get your 1 bolt started and snug it down a little bit. And as long as you got a Phillips screwdriver on the other side, it'll keep it from turning too much or anything. And then put the other side in, because if you don't put the Phillips screwdrivers in here to hold it, this thing is actually being pushed down because the plunger is up against this arm, and there's spring pressure on that diaphragm, so you really can't hold it up. You gotta, I kind of forgot how to do this crap, man. I've done this shit in a long time, man. And that fuel pump was in there since, I know it might not have been in there much earlier than 1991, because I think it was pretty new back when I got it. But it's been in there a long time. So 91 is 9 years plus 8. Well, 27 years, right? Time for a new one. Now, I kind of dread doing the timing chain and the gear set, because I don't know what the hell that's going to be. It might be a pain in the ass getting the pulley off or something. They're not that hard to do as long as you don't. The pulleys are sometimes a pain in the ass to get off of these things. We'll find out how that works out. But this is in, no leaks, and waiting on an accelerator pump for that. Got the choke adjusted well. When I get the accelerator pump in, I can pump the thing up a bunch of times, and it'll start when it's really cold out. And I still got to bleed the brakes a little bit more. And I got a few bolts coming in for the that frame bracket I changed over here. That thing. I'm putting new bolts in there just to be on the safe side. So this little stuff is actually what counts. If you know, this engine's it's not that bad. It's not new or nothing. It's the little stuff that can leave you stranded. You want to make sure that little, even doing that, it's not guaranteed, but best chances for reliability.